Hello, everyone. Welcome to Metagame, the TheEndStep's talk show about Magic the Gathering, where we go over results from this past couple weeks' tournaments and talk about news and other such things Magic the Gathering related.
Yeah.
So we'll just jump right into it with SCG Columbus, where we had Legacy and Standard. Standard Day 1, Legacy Day 2.
This was on the 15th of last month.
Correct.
15th, 16th.
And that was taken down by John Wallace.
The standard portion of the event, yes. Yep. Was there anything particularly special
He
about
did
his
shave a Sire of Insanity, and he has some main deck Nighthawks, which people have been moving towards. He did go down to 2 Bonfires, which is, I don't know if I like that one, but 3 seems right to me. But he still had some Liliana the Veils, which I have personally cut out of the deck and just moved entirely to the sideboard. But most people are leaning that direction. But still basically the same deck. There's a little, like, the 1s and 2 nitpicky thing here, but even his sideboard's pretty standard. Nothing super crazy there. The other Sires in the sideboard instead. But it's good old Jund still plugging away.
Yeah, you really like this deck. You pretty much play nothing else.
Because it's awesome!
Sure. Next day, it was Legacy event won by Todd Anderson.
Almost back-to-back. Back-to-back for him.
Yep.
Because he went to 2 Legacy... These are like the 2 Legacy Opens that he went to in a row, missing 1, and won with the same deck.
Yeah, Esper Deathblade.
Made a couple tweaks, but it's a good deck, man.
Yeah,
it's pretty sweet.
I think the takeaway from this tournament, I think, is one, there was a lands deck in the top 8.
Yeah.
In third place. And there's 2 blue-white-red decks.
Yeah.
And the Bug Walkers? What is this?
Yeah, the Bug Walkers is pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw this on camera.
How did it play?
It's not bad, actually. It's actually pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Like, he has, like, a sweet Life from the Loan package with, like, all kinds of cool value lands.
Oh, yeah. It's pretty typical.
But, anyways, the thing that's interesting about the Esper Deathblade to me is now that it's like full 4 colors, because now it literally has green in it as well for like abrupt decays. Granted, it's a tiny splash, but like it's still running wastelands. Like it's pretty crazy.
That is pretty nuts.
But it's obviously working.
It's pushing mana to the limits, even in something with such great fixing as Legacy.
Right.
Yep.
So I kind of think that Wasteland is actually really good against this deck because they're doing that.
I agree. The bug, like a straight solid bug deck, seems fine. Like Life from the Loams, Wastelands.
Yeah.
Like the lands deck, the 2 decks that top 8'd.
Yeah.
So
definitely, this deck is one of the top decks. He did play it again recently. Didn't do as well. And the other change he made was he had main deck Geist of St. Traps. He was saying he was basically sideboarding them on all the time, so he tried it main deck. I haven't heard if he ended up liking that or not, but that was the last I knew.
Yep. All right, then moving on, we had GP Houston.
Yeah, this was taken down by Shahar Shenhar of Channel Fireball.
This was RTR block sealed.
Sealed and draft.
Yeah, sealed draft. Yep, Shahar Shenhar took it down with Jund colors. That's pretty much all we can say about that. Like, I mean, we're not here to talk about the limited format of RTR.
Yeah, everybody pretty much knows it at this point. It's really good.
Right.
It's pretty interactive. You can do a lot of cool things. Basically it.
Yep. Next up, we had more Star Cities.
Yeah, this was in Philly.
Yep.
And this is a deck that's near and dear to your heart.
Esper Control, Robert Cedar ended up winning, and he made everybody play Esper Control for a few more weeks.
Yep.
What's funny is he won a really good grindy game 1, where he pulled it out in like really tight spots, like he was from 1 life to 4 life to 1 life to 7
pretty
life.
Nuts, yeah.
But he won game 2 against his Junk Reanimated opponent because he mulliganed to 5. His Junk Reanimated opponent mulliganed to 5, and I believe he didn't draw anything. So while I'm hopeful and optimistic for something like Esper to be good again, I do think those results were slightly skewed.
But I mean, he did have to grind through like the full tournament to get there too.
Yeah, he
So,
also
like,
did make it to top 8 in finals and eventually won the tournament. So yeah, like I got to give him that credit. But very Planeswalker heavy. I'm still not sold on Sorin
in
right
this
now.
deck.
Yeah, and because I've seen this deck, like a couple of people that we know were trying it out.
Yeah.
I feel like it was actually a little spot removal light. Because like your first like spot removal was at 3, and it's not even really spot removal.
Yeah, I mean they have like one rift.
Yeah, it's got one
and
rift,
then
charms,
Azorius
and
charms. Yeah.
far and away is where you start hitting like actual.
The far and
removal.
aways are excellent though. Like I really like that card.
Yeah. The good point that this deck made in the format was like the Terminus is like really really strong.
Yeah. I don't even know if that deck really needs more spot removal though. Like you could just play like 2 more Supreme Verdicts and then like just run six
It's
sweepers
like you need
and then
you need
never
that
lose.
you need that like ultimate price of victim of night to just beat that slightly aggressive draw every once in a while.
Okay.
And
But
like
you
the
don't-
deck's playing 4 Snapcaster Mages, so like why not one somewhere to get even more value?
I could see that.
And I'm not really crazy about Sorin because while Sorin does win a game or does grind out a game or get you out of a tough spot in the long run,
Yep.
he does nothing the turn he comes down to play other than make like a small chump blocker.
Yeah, he makes a blocker.
Yeah. And like I mean he's got slips in his board and like a Devour Flesh, but I would like to see something a little more targeted, like an ultimate price or a victim. of Night
Possibly
somewhere.
Doomblade.
Esper could make a comeback with the
Yeah.
Doomblade.
That's the real
Doomblade
deal.
does a lot of work. You
That
you
is
never
the real deal.
understand how a bunch of too many kill spell
It's
matters.
everything.
Oh yeah, gets everything.
So, Doomblade possibly in most likely in M14.
Which from this recording is in about 3 weeks, something
Yeah.
like that, 2 to 3 weeks. Moving on. So the legacy portion of that weekend was won by Jack Wang with Maverick, Adam's only legacy deck.
My only legacy deck, but it's getting there.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I don't have many more.
One plains and forest at a time.
Mm-hmm.
He was doing what most of the us Maverick players have done is add the black splash for some Thoughtseize.
Yep.
I do think he should have more Thoughtseize in his main deck. I think he's running only 2
Okay.
currently right now, but that's basically where you want to be with Maverick now. It just gives you like a serious card against combo. Yeah, he has like, what does he have? None main. Yeah, 2 in the sideboard is his Thoughtseize. So like I would like to see some kind of split, like 2 and 2 or 3 and 1. I personally am doing a 3 and 1, 3 main, 1 side. But it seems to me like Maverick is in a very good spot right now. Like people are trying to do like.
People are not like dropping it. People are still like playing it and trying it and giving it a chance.
Yeah, but I'm
Which I'm
saying
happy.
the deck itself, I feel might have some rise in popularity because people are like Todd Anderson are trying to do like 4-color, Stoneblade deck, and Maverick loves that because like, whoa, did you try to go a little too ambitious with your mana base? Well, my 2-color deck, basically 2-color deck,
Right.
wasteland you out of the game.
Yeah. I'm not against that at all.
So, and Thayer itself is like a huge card against most of the field.
Right.
Anything else of note you wanted to talk about?
There was a punishing rug deck.
Okay.
pretty
Goist
cool.
and Punishing Fire. and all that.
Yeah, but like, it's not the rug delver that you normally see, and it had
Oh,
a
right.
Domri raid.
Wow. That's fascinating.
Yeah. That means turn 2 Domri seems pretty fine. I mean, you're gonna whiff like constantly, but
Yeah, because you're only 16 creatures.
yeah. But I mean, there's good value, and it's a 1-up, so it's not like too heavy on the plan.
Right.
Anyway, moving on.
Next up, we go to GB Vegas.
The one
The one and only Modern Masters
first and last.
limited tournament.
This event was huge.
Yeah, ridiculous huge. Biggest ever.
They maxed it out. They capped it out.
Yeah, before the even tournament started on, like the Friday, like late last minute signups and all that, and like last minute grinders and all that stuff, like it was already like maxed out before that.
Right.
Like if you showed up Saturday, it was like, "Whoop, see you later."
Yeah. They had turned people away, and I heard stories that the line was like out of the building. Like,
I believe it.
it was 4,500 players, if you did not know.
Yeah, which is an insane amount of players.
Yes. I heard they like broke it up like almost like 4 GPs.
4 pods. Yeah, 4 different like separate tournaments running simultaneously. It was kind of cool to see like the aerial shot. If you haven't seen it, go look at it. It's like the room has like these color coded like sections where like all the tables and chairs are all like color coded and
Yep.
wedges of color. Yeah, basically people turned out in droves because people either didn't get to open much Modern Masters because it's super limited, and this was like an awesome way to open Modern Masters. Two, the limited format of Modern Masters is freaking awesome.
I know you love it.
Yeah, I'm like a little obsessed with it. It's just so much better than like most of the drafts formats we've seen recently because just like the packs are like so deep. There's so many good cards at every slot. There's so many archetypes that are good. It's just a really, really good limited format. But people want to open money cards, and this set is full of money cards. So, the fact that people are opening Tarmogoyfs like crazy.
Yep. There's the one guy who opened like a normal Goyf and a foil Goyf.
Oh, I'm sure they happen a couple times. Like they're opening that many packs. Like odds are in your favor. You're gonna have a couple people in the room.
The odds for it being in your favor.
There you go.
Well, Neil Oliver ended up winning the event.
Yeah, one of the good things about the rules change with like the large GPs, with like they're doing the max 15 rounds, was that you imagine how many rounds this tournament would have been if like they didn't have that now established cap? It would be like 25 rounds. Something stupid, you know what I mean? They would have been playing like into Monday.
I can't come into work today. I have to finish this tournament.
The downside of it is that like you had to have an insane record to make top 8. Like you couldn't like one loss was like, oh my god, I might not. You had to be near perfect. But it's kind of like a give and take. Like 15 rounds is still a lot, but it's a hell of a lot better than 25 rounds. So
yeah, definitely. So congratulations, Neil Oliver. You have like a one in a unique lifetime win, to say the least, under your belt. And anybody who also went to the event, it's going to be an experience that it's going to take a while before it's reproduced.
Till Modern Masters 2?
Maybe. I wonder if they're going to keep it in Vegas. It was also like in Vegas. So
it was in Vegas.
Yeah, I'm just going to Vegas anyway and play this Magic tournament too. Right. It's like, I'll go drop and hit the strip. That's fine.
Yeah, if I scrub out, I'll just go gamble.
That's exactly what you want to do after you just scrub out of the tournament. Go gamble away everything. Anyway, moving on. Our last tournament?
Yeah, last tournament was this past weekend, and that was GP Miami, standard format.
Held by Star City Games.
Yep. All the coverage was done by Star City. And Jund won.
Good old Batman.
Yep.
Won another tournament.
Reed Duke, Mr. Nice Guy, taking it down. I'm liking it.
Yep. Anything you want to say about his list?
My comments about his list are Rorgthar is awesome. Because what was I saying to you last week? I was like, I'm a little worried about Thunder My Hellkite. I'm like, I think I'm going to play an extra Dreadbore in my deck. No. Reed Dick was like, no, we don't do that. We just play 2 Rorgthars in our sideboard. So then they're like, oh, that's a nice Hellkite. Not. Like, I'll just block it with my Reach Gigantic guy. And did you want to kill that guy? We'll take 6. Like,
yeah, I'm glad I convinced you to buy a couple of Rorgthars.
Yeah, so Rorgthar is pretty sweet. Very good for that deck. It's a nice, huge threat. The interesting thing is, like, he's obviously Reed did plenty of testing. The guy's a consummate professional. He likes it so much that he no longer has Sire of Insanity.
That's fine.
This is like the new replacement. Granted, it's only in sideboard because it's pretty bad against like the aggro matchups because he's pretty slow.
Yeah.
But same thing, like Sire's pretty bad in that matchup too.
Right.
The additional bonus with Rorgthar over Sire of Insanity is the main problem with Sire these days is like the blue or red decks are playing Helix, which is like perfectly 4 damage for 4 toughness.
It just nails it.
Where like Rorgthar's like that deck can't get it besides Turn and Burn, and that's like a 1 to 2 of in those lists. So pretty tough.
Yeah, he's pretty hard to deal with in that.
Yeah.
That you need to like Verdict it or Zorius Charm.
Yeah. Please Zorius Charm my Rorgthar. Yeah.
Nasty.
I did see. I think it was Matt Costa actually did Zorius Charm Reed's Rorgthar because he had the counterspell to like get it on the recast.
Right.
But still, like, you have to take 6.
Oh, that'd be so great if Reed was just like sandbagging a Cavern of Souls.
Cavern, yeah.
Like, get there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's no overlap on the Cavern, so like this Cavern is still just like whatever your game you're playing this game. You've got your Cavern for it.
The Cavern you try to hold as long as possible, and like if it's in the matchup that you need it against, it's generally one of your giant bombs. Like you're not going to name it for your Nighthawks or something.
Yep, seems good.
He did go down to 1 cavern, which I'm not too thrilled about.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I get it. Jun's mana base is like a little tough. Sometimes you can get screwed with having like the 2 caverns, especially if you're landlight. But in the control matchups, like it's just such a good card when you can just slam your Thrag Tusks and Hummasters through their counter spells. And like the control decks are like kind of ticking up again with their like counter spell count, like 4 or 5 counter spells now.
Yeah, I mean it's a give and pull, like a secret behind the scenes give and pull. If you play if everyone's playing the caverns, or if like something like Naya Blitz is less prevalent,
yeah,
or more prevalent,
you want less.
You cut counter spells versus add counter spells. Yep.
What did you think of Brad Nelson and his Junk Aristocrats coming back again?
Good for him. I don't like that deck. I really don't. Like it's.
I tested it, and I'm just not a huge fan of it either. But like, now he's making me want to test his new list. A few updates he made does seem better, but it does have this problem of like you draw this like the weird half of it, the wimpy half of the deck, and you don't draw the synergy.
Yep.
Because like if you draw the synergy, it's really powerful.
Right.
But like if you just draw all your high priests, all your Doom Travelers and your stupid wolves, then it doesn't do anything.
I do like the addition of Obsidat.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Obsidat gives it this like big individual like power threat.
Gives it way more of a late game.
And then like he has Garruk Relentless now, which he like constantly searched up with it. Like he constantly flipped Garruk and like searched up Obsidat.
Oh yeah, very aggressive with it, which is I think was one of the better ways to use Garruk Relentless.
Yeah. He even had a sequence where he like this was a sideboard game where he sacked his Obsidat to search up Obsidat. Like
and like play second Obsidat.
Play it again.
Oh yeah, that seems fine.
So it's pretty nuts. He then scavenged it onto his Cartel Aristocrat.
Oh Jesus,
so it's pretty sweet.
Oh man.
But it's interesting. So like I think he's proven the deck is good enough, and it's a player in the metagame because people know this deck now. They're all like every deck's main decking Pillar of Flame if it can, and he ran through the tournament first place. Finished the Swiss in first with this deck, and then lost to Reed in the. His only loss in the Swiss was Reed, and his only loss in the finals was Reed in the top 8. So like Reed just had his number that day, but the deck is good, I guess. Like it's surprising.
I mean, I'm not going to deny that the deck is good. Like you said, the synergy is extremely strong. Yeah. If you can get it online, it's just I've seen it flop much more than I've seen it perform.
Yeah. Well, that's about it. Anything else to note in that top 8 you want to discuss?
No, not really. Everything else is pretty, average, normal.
All right, so let's go on to the beginning of M14. What do we think? What do we think of the...
Extremely excited for the good reprints. Okay. Scavenging Ooze, Mutavault. I think people are going to love to get their hands on Mutavaults. I believe I gave my opinion before in the last minute game how I don't like Slivers.
Yeah, we're pretty down on Slivers. I mean, they're pushing them and making them really
There's some really good ones, yeah. I'm not going to deny that. But I am terribly against some of the worst reprints, like Nightmares coming back.
Yeah, they always do that in core set. They always just print like some kind of flashy
crap
gold bomb. It's like, oh, it's cool because it's numbered in my swamps.
Yep. The new Garruk seems really interesting.
The new Garruk's interesting. I'm just not sure if he's good enough right now.
Yeah,
I think he's definitely strong enough to like take over the format after rotation, and I'm gonna try him right away. Like he does a lot of powerful things.
He does. I just think 5-mana Garruk is much stronger.
I do think 5-mana Garruk's better right now.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
The nice thing about 5-mana Garruk is you don't really have to build your deck around him. You just like, as long as you can support his triple green casting costs, he just fits right in your deck, and he like will win the game by himself.
Right.
Where this new Garruk is, you really have to build the deck around him. Mm-hmm. You can't just have him. You can't put the new Garruk in Jund, because like, I only have 11 to 13 creatures, and let me look at the top. Yep, whiff. It's like.
Yeah.
No, you have to like be in like a very
it's not like you're like dramatic, interesting, anything like here's my Thrag Test that I could have just played anyway.
Right.
You're not playing a World Spine Worm or. whatever.
Yeah, I mean that's the obvious like combo with him is just have this like disgusting creature, but that one's a little sketchy to me too because if you like draw Worldspire Worm and you don't have Garrick, it's like I'll just sit here and do nothing.
It's not that good. The other card to talk about is the newly spoiled Chandra. Chandra Pyromaster?
I think so.
Chandra, not that good.
Better than some of them, but not very good.
No.
I mean, I still like the one ping. Like, I think that's useful to pick off little things here or there.
Like, maybe she'll find a home in some kind of reddish controlish kind of thing.
Okay.
But then again, her +1 blocking clause is kind of irrelevant in that game because if you're playing a controller deck, you're probably playing something blue.
Yep.
And then you're probably just playing Aetherling at that point, like in the future.
Right.
In the future.
Okay.
So the blocking is not going to be relevant. I think she's terrible in an aggressive red strategy because you don't want to be paying 4 mana for like a ping 1.
Yeah, she seems bad there. And then her like 0 ability isn't very good in that deck either.
Yeah, you can't even activate a 0 the turn you play because you won't have any mana because you have to play the spell as if it was in your hand.
Right.
You know, you don't get to play for free just because you reveal it or anything like that. So
I'm not going to say it's awful right now, but it could be.
I think it's not that good.
I think most people would, excuse me, disappointed because she is the face of the set.
Yeah, she's supposed to be a lot more. She was really hyped up.
Yeah, super hyped up. I mean, if you're the mascot for the set, you should be like the best card, one of the best cards. And,
I agree.
And Garrick's just better than her. Like Garrick's definitely.
Yeah,
better.
I mean, I'm still on the edge about Garrick too, but I'm on the edge about him, and I still think he's much better.
Okay.
Yeah, I agree. But like, I still think it remains to be seen about him too.
Right.
I'm just very sure Chandra's going nowhere.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to think that she's going to do something, but probably not.
Yeah, I mean, we got Ralzarek, who's half blue, and he does more damage than she does.
Yeah. Yeah, Rosarex is definitely better than her. Same mana cost. Yeah, I don't know. And even Ralzarek is, $12 now. Like, he's not seeing a lot of play.
Yeah, no. And he's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, overall, like, looks pretty good. Nothing too insane besides Scavenging Ooze and Mutavault in terms of, like, really high-powered money cards.
I never get very excited for corsets unless they're, like, ridiculous, but I thought this one was going to be that one, but it's turning out not to be so much.
Yeah, I'm still, like, maybe they're going to, like, surprise us with Thoughtseize or something.
Maybe.
It looks like possibly Theros.
Like I usually do, I kind of just gloss over corsets. Like, I mean, they happen, it's whatever. I don't spend any money on them. But I'm totally focused on Theros. Like, I want Theros in every way possible.
Now.
Yeah, it's ASAP. I want to hear something about that. I want to see some kind of spoiler or something. I want a godbook leaked. I don't care. Like, I want to see it.
Yeah. I think that about wraps it up for this week.
Yep.
One more note. You'll see the plant is still here.
He's growing.
He's bigger again. Overall, not super happy with the names, guys. We need some more submissions for us to make a decision. We were going to just choose this week, and that would be the name, but I'm going to give it to next episode. So
Yeah, if you want to name our plant, because somebody wanted to name our plant.
Yeah.
And we're all for naming the plant, it's just we don't want to do it ourselves. We want to have a little input with our viewership.
Yeah, I feel like somebody out there could come up with something interesting and different. I mean, it could be magic related. It doesn't have to be, but make it better than Sam the plant. Like
Yeah.
better than that.
Yeah. Also, if you guys have any questions for us, I guess they don't have to be magic related, but I'm assuming you don't really care about anything else other than magic
Right.
related.
This is why you're
thing.
watching our programming.
Right. Feel free to ask us. Like, leave it in the comments, and we'll get it to it next time we do a metagame. Like,
Yeah,
we're
definitely.
we're all for that and everything too.
And if you ask why I play Nai decks and why James plays Esper control decks, we'll just say that's because we like. We just can't get off of them. And unless you're playing blue or red, which is essentially the new Esper.
Yeah, which is what I'm playing right now. Yep.
That's it. Hey,
Plain
thanks
and
for
simple.
watching.
Yep.
See you next time.
Bye.